and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Court, and today we are picking my February TBR from my trusty TBR jar mug, however you want to call it. Taking a closer look at this mug, I just have to show off this mug. It's so cute. It's got cats and books on it. As a reminder, I also will be picking one book out of this box as my read for my one book read from 12 Recs from 12 Friends that I'm doing one book a month. So I will be picking one from this box as well at the end. Let's just jump right in to the picks. I will be picking out 6 prompts from the TBR jar. And as you can see, I recently got a TBR cart. I got a TBR cart from my grandma for Christmas. I stocked her up of all the books I want to read. Up here we have some top priority reads, some more that fit the season maybe. Down here we have my 25 for 2025. The books that I own off of that list are going to be on this shelf. And then some other more priority recs. And then down here we have some arcs. We have some that are going to be in season soon. And just some other random reads that I really want to get to sooner rather than later that I've kind of been perusing on my shelves recently. There are also some on the back that I'm either currently in the middle of, going to be reading soon, that kind of stuff. Mostly the ones that I'll be picking from are on this side of the cart so that you guys can see what's all in the cart. If you see something on this cart that I should read immediately, please comment it down below. I love to hear what you guys think of any of these books. Maybe I will pick them next time if I don't pick them this time with your glowing recommendations. So let's just jump right into picking our first prompt. A bunch fell. Pink and green, like Wicked. Which should we pick? I've always been a Glenda girl, so we're going. Our first prompt is a retelling. On this cart, I have a few retellings up here and one retelling down here that is an arc that I really want to get to. First of the Knot list, which is a Hawaiian mythology retelling. I have Beautiful Villain, which is, I believe, a Great Gatsby retelling. I have Desperate Measures, which is an Aladdin retelling. And down here I have the Arc of Charming Devil, which is a Picture of Dorian Gray retelling. And out of these 4, let's see. The one I'm most excited to read is probably Charming Devil by Rebecca Kinney. This is a Picture of Dorian Gray retelling, and I am in my dark academia mood, and I have heard really good things about Picture of Dorian Gray and that being a dark academia kind of book. So I would love, love, love to read a retelling of it. I might read the actual book before I read this, and since it is an arc, I would really like to get to this one this month. So I think we're going to put Charming Devil by Rebecca Kinney on the February TBR. Our second prompt is, let's see if I can get just one. My most recent book purchase, which this is so exciting because it's the book that I really, really wanted to pick for my TBR this month. My most recent book purchase is actually Beartown by Frederick Bachman. I have been hearing nothing but good things about this book, and I really, really want to read it. So I'm super excited that we picked this for the TBR because I was going to pick this no matter what, and I was going to read this in February no matter what. So I'm really excited that this is going on the TBR, and I cannot wait to read this. Maybe the others, but definitely this one. Prompt number 3. Prompt number 3 says an animal in the title. I'm not sure if I have one on my TBR card that has an animal in the title. Firefly? Does that count as an animal? It's a bug, I know. Flock? That's a group of birds. Oh, here's serpent. I think the only actual animal that's not a bug on my TBR card is serpent. So I guess we're going to go with Serpent in the Wings of the Night for my February TBR for an animal in the title. I'm actually really excited to read this. I am in a fantasy mood. So we're going to go ahead and put this on the February TBR. For our fourth prompt, We have an indie book. This means a book written by an indie author who self-publishes, a book not a traditionally published book. So let's see what we've got. I believe this is an indie book, but this is Once You're Mine by Morgan Bridges, but it is now traditionally published, so I don't know if I can necessarily count that. Same with Collide. I think that was indie published before. Curse of the Knotless is by Raylan Kimmy. She is an indie author, so this might be a good pick. And the only other indie book I think that I have is Second Bloom by Eve Matthews, but I was really hoping to save this for the springtime, so I don't know. And I already have another retelling, so I'm gonna have to think about my decision on this one. I really want to read Second Bloom in the spring. However, I was told that it's Right Person, Wrong Time, and I just read A Love Letter to Whiskey, and I really did enjoy that in that book. And I have another retelling. I've been meaning to read this for a long time, though. We're going to go with Curse of the Knotless by Raylan Kimmy. Raylan Ray is one of my good friends, and I absolutely love everything she writes. This one I just hadn't gotten the chance to get to, and I cannot wait to read this one. We're going to put it on the TBR. Our fifth prompt is a new to me author. I actually have quite a few on here that are new to me. So I just picked a few from the top row because they are the ones I want to read the most. I didn't really look at the bottom, and I have read a bunch from the bottom. These are more high priority for me. So first we have Flock by Kate Stewart. I haven't read anything by Kate Stewart. That's a lie. I read her Christmas book. I can't read this. I believe she wrote, what's that Christmas book? A Plight Before Christmas? I read that. So she would not be a new to me author. So I have to put that one back. I forgot I read that because I didn't like that book. Anyways, these are definitely new to me. This is by Bal Cabra. I believe I'm saying that right. Please correct me if I am wrong. This is Collide. This is a hockey romance. And the second one, Spiral, comes out soon. I would really like to read this before the second one comes out. So this might be a good pick. I don't really know any other tropes or anything in this book. I just know that it's hockey, and a lot of people who liked Unsteady liked this book, and I loved Unsteady last year. So that's why I wanted to pick up this one. The next new to me author that we have is actually really surprising. We have Elle Kennedy. I have never read an Elle Kennedy book. I started this a long time ago, but I got like 2 chapters in, I think, and put it down and never picked it back up. I like soft DNF'd it. It wasn't that I wasn't liking it, I just put it down for the time. But I've never like finished an Elle Kennedy book. But I really want to get to the new series that she has that are the kids of this book. That's like The Graham Effect, and I know the Charlie Method comes out soon. I can't remember the second one. The Dixon Rule, I think. Something. So I really want to get through the off-campus series. I feel like it's such a nostalgic series for so many people. I'm like missing out on something, especially being a part of Book Talk and all of that. I'm like missing a core piece of Book Talk by not reading this book. I would really like to get to this series, but I might wait till the summer to like plow through this series and binge read it. Not really sure, but I know Elle Kennedy is a new to me author, and I would love to read this series. And I think Briar U and the kids' books. This is also an option. But out of the 2 hockey books that I have, I think I'm going to have to go with Collide. This one I've just been staring at so much recently. The cover is absolutely stunning, and I've heard a lot of good things about this one, and the fact that it was compared to Unsteady, which was my favorite romance book of last year, high praise. So we're going to have to go with Collide. Our 6th and final prompt is a character who has the same initials as me or initial. So my name's Cortney, my last name is Kiser. So we are going to try to find somebody with the first name that starts with C or the last name that starts with K. This might take me a minute. Okay, so out of this top row, all these books have a character's name that starts with C. In There Are No Saints, the male main character's name is Cole. In Flock, the FMC's name is Cecilia. In Becoming Calder, the main character's name is Calder. In Once You're Mine, the main female character's name is Callista with a C. And in Darling Venom, the female main character's name is Charlotte. So this is basically like a free pick of all of the books that I have on my priority TBR, which is great. But it's also not great because I want to read all of these. I cannot believe all of these start with C. Like, there's no way. Now I'm kind of curious how many of these other ones, because I didn't look past the first row because we already had 5. I'm curious how many of these other books down here have main characters that start with C or K. Last names that start with K. That's actually crazy. But because it's Valentine's Day and Darling Venom is set on Valentine's Day, for this prompt, I'm going to pick Darling Venom for my February TBR because I really, really want to get to this one this year. It's been sitting on my TBR for like 2 years. I need to just read it. Because it's set in Valentine's Day and we're going into February, I really want to read it in the month of February. So, Darling Venom is going on my February TBR. And finally, we're going to go ahead and pick my one book from my 12 Recs from 12 Friends out of this box. And my February friend recommendation book is Bourbon and Lies by Victoria Wilder. I don't own that book. I will be reading it on my Kindle because I believe it is on Kindle Unlimited, but I cannot wait to read that book. I've heard nothing but good things, and my friend Sierra raves about that book. So, cannot wait to read that one as well. Let's quickly go over all the books on my February TBR one more time. I chose the prompt A Retelling, and I picked Charming Devil by Rebecca Kinney. Next, I picked my most recent book purchase, which is Beartown by Frederick Bachman. Then I picked a prompt, An Animal is in the book title, and I picked Serpent in the Wings of the Night by Carissa Broadbent. Then I picked an indie book, and I picked Curse of the Knotless by Raylan Kimmy. Then I picked New to You author, and I'm going with Collide by Bal Cabra. And finally, I picked a character with the same initials as me, and I picked Darling Venom, who has a main character named Charlotte by Parker S. Huntington. Also on my TBR for the month of February, Unloved comes out in February, so I will definitely be getting to this soon, if not in the month of February. Cannot wait to read this. You guys know how much I cannot wait to get to this book and how much I loved Unsteady, so this will definitely be getting read in the month of February. My book club over on Instagram also picked Scythe and Sparrow by Bren Weaver for our February book club pick. The book club handle is down in the description if you want to come join us. It's over on Instagram. It's free to join. Just comment on the book post, our February book club post, and I'll add you to the group chat. We are reading Scythe and Sparrow. It comes out February 11th. Cannot wait to read this with them. And that's all for today's video. As always, my socials are linked in the description below. Comment down below what your anticipated reads for February are. Anything on your February TBR. I cannot wait for the month of February and the reading month I have ahead. As always, please like and subscribe. It helps me so much. And I'll hopefully see you in the next one. Bye!